Hi there. So this presentation is a summary of the learning signpost on the climate impacts of food production. In producing this information, I interviewed 4 projects. They're CAF funded projects that are working in the area of food. And this draws out kind of their key learnings so far and gives a bit of a description of each project. So key learnings, I'll go into this more when I go into the 4 different projects, but key learnings, a couple of things I like to draw out. Crucial to the success of all their projects is the degree to which they've embedded in the community, they've engaged with the community, and they've got key partners such as the council on board. Other important aspects are a focus on learning, drawing out learning for the projects themselves, but also focusing on upskilling the participants in the projects and local residents. And I guess another aspect of that is about communicating information within the partnerships to delivering the projects and more wider locally. And then I guess on the other side is what not to do is the reverse of that. So don't stay in your office and try and manage it all from your laptop. The personal is so important in this, and hopefully that's what will come through in this presentation. So these are the 4 projects, and I'd just like to thank the 4 people that contributed to these learning signposts. So the Action for Local Food project, thanks very much, Julie Parish from Octopus. Acorn Farm in Derry, thank you, Shona from the Community Foundation from Northern Ireland. Just Fact and Tower Hamlets, thanks to Elle from the Women's Environmental Network. And for the Farm Net Zero project in Cornwall, thank you to Alex from the Duchy College. And in this rest of this presentation, I'll go through these 4 different projects. So Action for Local Foods is the first one. They describe it as a food-related response to the climate emergency. Octopus have had a food-going program in Islington for around 12 years. In this project, in this picture, you can see the Highbury Quadrant Garden. But in this CAF-funded project, they're using that as a basis to do more work with local people to look at developing a range of projects, and particularly looking at the challenges of food production in a dense urban area. One of the ways they do this is with demonstrator sites, because they're trying to show local people what's possible, they're trying to educate them, they're trying to provide the resources. This community plant nursery was taken over by Octopus in 2018, was a derelict sports pitch. And with local people, they transformed it into a community growing space and plant nursery. And then the second one, and you can see there is the Highbury Quadrant. This was set up in January 2020 as a partnership between Octopus, Elizabeth House Community Centre, and Islington Council. And local people have worked on 3 what are described as underused and unloved green spaces on the Highbury Quadrant estate and turned them into gardens. And they've looked at improving biodiversity, access to nature. I think another aspect of Action for Local Food is that they use a permaculture approach. So going on to couple more of the demonstrator sites from Action for Local Food. As its name implies, this next one's on the roof of the Brickworks Community Centre. It's a partnership project with them. And as it says there, it was set up in 2020, and they're aiming to look at how you can create a garden in a difficult, unused urban space. As well, and they look particularly at rainwater harvesting there, and also they see it as really a focus for helping and supporting local people to learn how to grow food for themselves. Another aspect of the rooftop garden that they looked at was the issue of shade, obviously, and it's an important issue in urban areas of how you shade your gardens. The fourth demonstrator site is the Story Garden, which has been run by the project partner Global Generation. That's been run since 2019. It's over an acre. It's an urban garden behind St. Pancras and the British Museum. And that's focusing on water harvesting again, looking at composting systems, looking at managing soils for water retention, and how to increase their growing space. And you can see that in the photo there. Octopus, as part of the project, also have two ambassador programs, one for young people and one for adults. And as the name implies, the ambassadors go out and help upskill local residents in different aspects of food production. And they run events. They also visit other growing spaces, building up connections. I drew out two of their key learnings. I think it's very striking that they see themselves as community developers first and gardens second. And as they say, by taking this approach, they can instill motivation, inspiration, and tenacity in addressing some of the challenges of growing in urban areas. The other learning point, which is really important, is how important the local council was, and they have done brilliantly in engaging with the council and the different teams within the council. And there's a website address, and you can find out more on that fabulous website. This is the next project, also in London and Tower Hamlets. It's led by Women's Environmental Network. Although it hasn't been running for that long, it works with a lot of existing projects, and they're aiming to create a community of local people who want to build a new food system. And this is a slide produced by WEN, which outlines their approach. So they conceive of it as first creating a blueprint, and then testing this blueprint through community hubs, and we'll see some pictures of those in a minute, and what they call labs. And the labs are looking at things like food co-ops, community orchards, closed loop food systems, so that's using food waste to grow more food. And then the next stage in this process is obviously to share this learning. They've already started, but they will be developing toolkits and learning resources, and they're already running workshops. And then they hope that this tried and tested blueprint will create a roadmap for change. This is one of their community hubs, Cranbrook Community Food Garden. It's run by Parkview and Cranbrook Climate Task Force, which is community organising on two housing estates. This was transformed over 10 years ago from a derelict children's playground into this vibrant garden that you can see here. as well as food growing. They have facilities for recycling food waste there into compost, which they then use. And the members of the project get vegetables from the project every week. So creating the loop, the food loop. This is in Poplar. They describe it as a thriving cook, grow, and eat action hub. And it's got a lot of different aspects, which includes a community garden, a greenhouse, a Chelsea flower garden, a community training kitchen, an established food pantry, and a workshop space. And they provide a year-round program of cooking and growing workshops. And you can see that one of those workshops in the photo there. So this is part of their approach to testing things. They're prototyping, I guess. And our urban Poplar, this is their site here in Poplar. They're looking at closing the loop by managing food waste and then gardening with it. They're looking at developing anaerobic digestion. You can see their outdoor learning space there. They have a community kitchen, they run a composting club, and do workshops with local residents. So I think these slides from Just Fact to demonstrate some of the whole different range of the projects that they're linking together and building. In terms of drawing out their learning, I found a couple of interesting points that are listed here. One is that they say it's really important to build on local skills. So when they bring in trainers, they try and use local expertise. And also that they found that growing is a really powerful way of connecting people to the land and their food. And I think other projects have also made similar comments. This next project, Acorn Farm, is in Northern Ireland in Derry, and it's run by the Community Foundation of Northern Ireland. This is more focused. It mentors 260 families and gives them everything they need, the support, the tools to grow food at home. And they learn from the horticultural experts, and you can see in this photo a seed saving event delivered by Connor from the Social Farms and Gardens, Northern Ireland. Some of their learning so far. As with the previous project, families found this a really great way to do something around the climate and to feel connected, even though they live in an urban area. And also another aspect was the importance of direct communication with the horticultural experts. So in addition to written and online materials, the direct engagement was really important for them. So moving on to the fourth project, down in the southwest in Cornwall, Farm Net Zero is working with those who are already producing food with us. For us, they have a core community, 40 monitor farms. Their approach is that they're working with the farmers to create to do a baseline for the carbon footprinting, and then to look at how they can support the farmers to move to net zero. They've already run a number of workshops and they are working through producing baseline footprints for the farmers. I think a key point of their learning is that the farmers, they see climate change. They're actually generally quite keen to do something about it, but this project is supporting them how to do it rather than criticizing them. Farmers feel that there's a lot of pressure on them to do something. So yeah, this is a really exciting project, and Alex can tell you more if you'd like to email him. So thank you. That's the 4 projects in a nutshell, but obviously to find out more, best to speak to the projects themselves and just find out a bit more about the fabulous work they're doing. Thanks.